Children should be educated and instructed in the principles of freedom. John Adams.
Yes.
Next up, Reverend Ronald Allen Willis. He is a senior pastor at First United Methodist Church in Tell City, Indiana. For the past decade, he has devoted a large part of his ministry to matters of social and personal justice and healing of spiritual wounds. Pastor Ronald Allen Willis.
Good afternoon. The 16th President of the United States of America served during a time when this country faced the greatest challenge of history, before or since. This great nation was ablaze with war, state against state, neighbor against neighbor, brother against brother. And in the midst of this turmoil, President Lincoln proclaimed, "I believe that every individual is naturally entitled to do as he pleases with himself and the fruits of his labor, so far as it in no way interferes with any other men's rights." What a difference between our nation's president then and our elected officials today. In my life, I have butchered over 300 hogs. I have never yet once had a hog butcher itself. Elected officials in Washington, D.C. have gotten so fat over the years on the power that comes from raising taxes. The more they tax and spend, the easier they win votes.
Yes.
George Bernard Shaw got it right with these words: "A government which robs Peter to pay Paul can always depend on the support of Paul." Our voice may not be popular today. Our voices may not be as clear as we would desire. But today, friends, our voices will be heard. This day, we call upon our brothers and sisters of all races and all walks of life to unite in support of sound government, social justice, and human rights. And be certain, the current tax policies of our elected officials are an affront to all three.
Right.
The government will never make a man wealthier.
No, except themselves.
The hope in government to better one's life in so many ways is a myth. The benevolence toward others is necessary for our civil society. Should we help others? Absolutely.
Yes.
Benevolence toward others is a standard requirement in all major world religions.
Yes. Choice, not law. Right.
When elected officials choose to regulate and execute the benevolence of its citizenry, they deprive the people an opportunity to demonstrate those things that are greatest about this nation. One of those being the way that which these people, the people of this nation, come together in times of challenge. The corporate benevolence in the form of government bailouts overturn the will of the people who have already chosen in opposition not to purchase that company's products. The actions of any government officials, elected or despot, to tax its citizenry with the intent to spend the money on activities which are harmful to the masses is the very height of tyranny. The current actions of Washington are harmful to us. They're harmful to this great nation and the citizens which we love so very much.
Yes.
The direction of Washington benefits no one but those in office,
Right.
and their ability to gain popularity toward an end that culminates with re-election.
Yes. Yes.
Re-election for a few and generational debt for the rest of us.
Right.
Friends, I have good news. we gather here this day to thwart the plans of Washington. May justice roll down like water, and righteousness like an ever-flowing stream. Today we rise from our weakness. We lay down our fears. This is the day of redemption.
Yes.
This is the day to stand firm.
Yes.
My friends, we shed our tepidness and our apathy.
Yes. Woo!
In the words of Job, we shed this apathy for clothing of righteousness, where justice is our top coat and our hat.
Right. Justice.
Brothers and sisters in this struggle, it's not arms that will win the fight, nor will it be won through hatred or malice. This is a classic struggle of injustice, and I encourage you to consider that all struggles of injustice against a superior power are won through the hearts and the minds of the masses.
Evil versus good.
Let us stand for each and every protection afforded us in the Constitution of the United States of America. In a society where many believe that might makes right, friends, I'm here to tell you the truth. In this struggle, it's not might that makes right. Friends, it's right that makes might. And our might will come through logic, consideration, and compassion for family and friends. Those who will be willing to listen to our point of view and offer to join our cause will not care about the facts and figures until they know how much we care about them. The old adage still rings true. They will not care how much we know until they know how much we care. Friends, our struggle will continue long after we leave this place. It will continue long after the chants die down and the signs are discarded. Many of you have been on the front lines long before we gather here this day. And many of us will be on the front lines until the end. May each of us remain on the side of justice and righteousness so long as we have breath. May we continue to make our case in our homes, in the streets, and at the ballot box. Because right makes might. Do not let your hearts be troubled. Do not be afraid. We are not alone in this struggle. Does right make might? Right makes might. Right makes might.